And we are back with Holly Kenley. She is a marriage and family therapist, and she has written a book, Breaking Through Betrayal, about all kinds of betrayal and how it affects us and how it hurts us and damages us, and how do we go on from a loved one hurting us or from, all kinds of betrayal that are out there.
As we're talking right before break, Sandy, it's so important to break through those states of being. And then the second part of the book I set up for recovering the peace within, where I really put the readers to work. As we said, it's a self-help book. There's exercises or activities. And I have scaffolded the healing that starting in these 5 processes, these five steps, to begin to right yourself and recover that peace within.
Good. So obviously this is in the book, and if you're interested in healing, because there is a hole in your heart, in your being, when you go through something traumatic like that, then you have those 5 steps to do. Now, a new book. Why did you write a second edition? What's new in Breaking Through Betrayal, Holly?
I am so excited about this, and sometimes this throws at people a little bit when the new material is called Betrayal and Relapse. And I speak a lot on relapse, and people say, Holly, why do you get so excited when you talk about relapse? And it's for this reason. First of all, I've redefined relapse as an issue of self-betrayal, because our minds typically go to issues of addiction, of substance and behavioral addiction. But relapse is so much more than that. And the way I've redefined it is that anytime anyone falls back into or regresses into or returns to any kind of unhealthy environment, relationship, or pattern of behaving or thinking. So who hasn't fallen off a diet or an exercise program, or maybe returned to an unhealthy relationship, an abusive relationship, or maybe an unhealthy group of friends, or whatever it might be. So again, I use this all-encompassing approach. And the reason I get excited is because when we take a look at why we relapsed, we not only learn some things about ourselves, but we also have that opportunity to discover why we might have been vulnerable in the first place, and then to recover and to build ourselves up from that.
Right, because there are things in ourselves from whatever reason, whether it was from childhood issues or just personality or whatever, that do, as you said, vulnerable. That's an excellent word, that leave us vulnerable to these situations that we know probably are not the best for us.
Yes.
But we still get involved with it, and then ultimately when things crash around us, then so we kind of have to fix something in us too, then, to heal.
Yes, once again, that if we'll press the pause button and not look for that quick fix, if we'll just kind of sit back and take a lot of brutal inventories that I have in here, self-inventories, but to learn from them. And I want to know that people who have relapsed, they're already filled with so much shame. And so it's not a book about shaming. It's a book about, let's take a look at this shared suffering together. I want to invite you into this healing journey with me, and moving from self-betrayal to self-discovery.
Oh, nice. Because the learning, is the essence of us. When we stop learning about ourselves, which takes a lifetime, and we still don't know ourselves by the end, let alone know anyone else. But we can certainly do the best in breaking through betrayal. So that's the takeaway. What do you want folks to take away from breaking through betrayal?
Well, there's so many things I want them to take away, and I do want to just mention, Sandy, as I have a whole section on shame, because shame and relapse have a very, very integral relationship. Shame fuels and feeds relapse, and relapse fuels and feeds shame. And so a quote that I used in there is, "Don't stay too long in the shame-filled grounds of relapse. Fertile soil waits your return, and you're recovering." So I want readers to know it is possible. You're not alone. I'm here with you. Take this journey. Be brave enough to do it.
Oh, wow. That's absolutely beautiful, because as you mentioned, part of this, the pain you have from betrayal is shame, that you feel shame that you were in this situation, that you didn't see it before, that you believed what you did and didn't see through it, whatever it is. So that's not the place to stay.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it can be, I've dealt with it personally, so I know that it's possible. And I talk about the outer layers of shame. In fact, the acronym I use for shame, Sandy, is self-hatred and malignant embarrassment.
Whoa, malignant embarrassment.
And when you think about it, those emotions, that is so heavy. That's such a burden to carry. So let's peel away the shame. Let's have this conversation about relapse. Let's get rid of the stigma, the shame, the secrecy. Let's peel away those layers. Let's address the inner core of shame, which I explain in Breaking Through Betrayal, if it is indeed there, which can be root issues, underlying issues. And let's start recovering from it.
Wow, I'm loving this. Okay, so where do people get Breaking Through Betrayal?
Amazon, I always put that out there. It's economical and it's easy. Also, Hastings has some copies, and it can be ordered through any local independent bookstore as well.
Well, and it's set up. It's easy to get into and to read and to find, and you're going to recognize yourself, in these kinds of things, I think, too.
Yes.
So, well, fabulous. Thank you again. You've seen this. You've seen this. You probably have some great success stories as well.
It's filled with heartache and it's filled with healing. Client narratives are in here, anonymous, of course, but they'll find themselves, as you just said, thank you, Sandy, they'll find themselves in here.
Well, and I think failure is just, is defined as not how many times you fall, but how many times you get up.
Yes.
So, there you go. You've got it. Breaking Through Betrayal. It happens to everybody. Okay, all of us, in one way or another. Whether it's an addiction, whether it's a person that we love that betrays, whether it's an ideology that sucked us in. Whatever, we all go through this betrayal, and then we feel shame, and then we're embarrassed, and we often don't know how to get out of it. So.
And now you do.
Yes. And it's not that hard, right? Tell us it's not that hard. We just have to be willing to do it.
You just have to be willing. I often say, Sandy, wellness awaits each of us. We choose the time.
Nice. Love it. Breaking Through Betrayal by Holly Kenley. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy.